Hi, Paul Gorney from Luxury Living in Chicago. Going to take a look at the biggest homes in Chicago in 2022. If you're looking to move to Chicago and purchase a home in Chicago, these are typically luxury homes, obviously, if they're the largest ones in the city and outlying suburbs. But what you got to look at in Chicago is the biggest homes typically are around max out for the most part around 10,000 square foot. The luxury homes, the biggest homes in Chicago. There are exceptions, obviously, so we'll get into that. The neighborhoods, the locations, all these things. Just text, call, email if you have any questions at all. Days, nights, weekends, anytime, any small question, big question, here to help. Can answer anything you need. And one of the main realtors here in Chicago for the last 30 years. So looking at the biggest homes here, typically Lincoln Park, which is close to downtown. A lot of people have heard of that area. One of the more highly ranked popular neighborhoods in Chicago. There's a number of streets that have, they're about 2 blocks long rather than 1 block. They have have developed where they have multiple lots compiled to have one house on. So a house just sold recently that had 4 lots sold for just under $13 million, one of the highest sales in recent history in Chicago. Very high sales price. Just sold for about $600,000 less a few years ago. The same house traded then too. So it's a big house, 8,000 square foot. There's a house on the same block that it's been asking $45 million for a long time, about 3 years or more. No takers. It's showing a much smaller square footage than you'd ever imagine in the county tax records. But in actuality, it's probably somewhere around 20,000 square foot, and it's really a high sales price though. So these are on the same block in Lincoln Park where other homes have sold that are 10,000 square foot. Typically homes will sell between 5 and 10 million in this kind of square footage range. The thing with the big homes is a lot of them, the bigness is the amount of land they have with them too, especially close into the city. So 25 by 125, that's, the 25 across, 125 deep is a standard Chicago lot. A lot of these homes will have double, triple, quadruple, and even more lots compiled. Usually, $1 million to $1.5 million for each lot, just for the land alone. So these are some of the biggest homes in Chicago, including the square footage of the home and the square footage of the lot. I just had a client buy a very historic property, 10,000 square foot in the South Loop, so south of downtown, close to the lake where the Bears play at Soldier Field. Needs a significant amount of renovation, but it's around 10,000 square foot home, one of the last remaining mansions in Chicago. This is a very large home, and this home sold for right around $2.5 million because of the work it needs. And it has a large lot to accommodate the home, but it doesn't have, 3, 4, 5, 6 lots with the amount of land around it that other homes have. So the house and the land, South Loop, Lincoln Park, which is a little bit further north of downtown. Then if you get out further away from downtown, there's some big homes, 6, 7, 8,000 square foot typically, but the biggest homes are the ones that are 10,000 square foot plus, typically 10, 12. If you go out to the suburbs, the western suburbs of Chicago, where you have like a 35 minute drive on the expressway, there's some enormous homes out there. Will be on multiple acres. They'll be 20,000 square foot or larger. They'll have enormous gyms, things like this. So if you're willing to drive, there's some even larger homes out there. But those homes will only be, I say only, but they'll only be about $6 to $8 million. kind of at the top end typically, nowhere close to, you know, the 13 million selling in Lincoln Park. But they'll be a lot bigger and newer. That's what you get for, you know, the Lincoln Park location versus driving. If you go up north in the northern suburbs, someone just paid, I think, about $16 million for some land on the lake, and there's, if they go through with it, there's potential that they are going to build, you know, a house that's probably closer to, I'd say, 40,000 square feet. Just enormous home. Some of the other homes on the lake, which have not been sold, were built in the last 10 years. Those homes are also around 18 to 20,000 square foot. I know some of, you know, the situations with these homes, whether or not people would be willing to sell them if the right buyer came along. And the prices that were mentioned to me before are around 20 million. Now it'd probably be even more, maybe 20, 24 million, 25 million. I mean, really high prices for some of these really big homes. But if you want a home that's one of the biggest, 8,000 to 10,000 square foot, and you want to be downtown Chicago, in the heart of it all, it's going to cost you, if you go out to the burbs, definitely the prices will go down and the newness will go up, and you'll get more, you know, more land. So things to think about if you're going to move to Chicago and purchase a home, and you want a big home, just reach out, call, text, email anytime. Very well versed in this market and can help.